what's your mood today? Whatever you feel is alright. Some days I feel like a mountain so high, like I could be a superhero flying through the sky. But then other days like a valley so low, like nobody cares if I stay or go. Hey, hey, what's your mood today? I know sometimes it's hard to say. Hey, hey, what's your mood today? Whatever you feel is alright. Some mornings when I wake I'm like a kangaroo, jumping up and down excited about what I'll do. But other days I don't want to wake up at all. I'm like a sloth, moving with a slow, slow crawl. Hey, hey, what's your mood today? I know sometimes it's hard to say. Hey, hey, what's your mood today? Whatever you feel is alright. Raise your hand if you're mad today. Raise your hand if you're sad today. Raise your hand if you're happy today. Whatever you feel is okay. Raise your hand if you're tired today. Raise your hand if you're excited today. Raise your hand if you're worried today. It's okay. Hey, hey, what's your mood today? I know sometimes it's hard to say. Hey, hey, what's your mood today? Whatever you feel is alright.
So, Miss Marley, how are you feeling this week?
Oh, wow. She's feeling really upset this week and confused.
Hmm, interesting.
Marley, where do you feel that? She says, what do you mean? Like in your body, where do you feel it?
Hmm. We could do a body scan. That means we're going to take turns focusing on different parts of our body to see where we're feeling these emotions, okay? So, take a deep breath. All right. And now just focus on your face,
Okay.
your forehead, your eyes, maybe your jaw. Move it around a little bit. Um, Go ahead and roll your shoulders a little bit, roll your fins there. Let's see. Now let's focus on our stomach. You feel any tension in your stomach? Does it feel tight?
Hmm.
And now your back fin. We'll focus on our legs and feet over here. Uh, okay. And one more deep breath. Where did you feel the tension, Marley?
Marley says that she feels really tight in her stomach,
Mm.
really tense, and that something isn't right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know why? What?
Hmm. Marley says that she's been hearing her parents talk about racism
Mm.
and she doesn't know what it is
Mm.
and she's feeling really confused.
All right. That's okay. That's okay. It's important to say when we don't know these things. Um, let's see. What can we do to learn more about this? You took the first step, but I think
Mm.
I can help you a little bit more now. We happen to have a really good book that we can share now, and it's called A Book About Racism by Jelani Memory. And we're going to read it for you now, okay? All right. A kid's book about racism. This book is about racism. For reals. And yes, it really is for kids. It's a good book to read with a grown up because you'll have lots to talk about afterwards. But if it's just you, keep reading. The book won't bite. Now to introduce myself. My name is Jelani. My skin color looks like this. And if you're colorblind, this is the color brown. Because my dad is black and my mom is white, which makes me mixed. Or African American, biracial, black, or a person of color. I'm proud of who I am and the color of my skin, but because of my skin color, people aren't always nice to me. Sometimes I get called names, other times it's worse. The person doing it might not even realize that it hurts me a lot. And when they treat me that way, it makes me feel small. You see, some people believe that having different color skin means you aren't as good as others. That's called racism. What is racism? Racism means to hate someone, exclude them, or treat them badly because of their race or the color of their skin. And it happens all the time. Not just in big ways, but sometimes it shows up in small ways, ways that are almost invisible. Like a look, a comment, a question, a thought, a joke, a word, or a belief. Racism is one of the worst kinds of mean someone can be, because racism thinks being different is bad. But being different is actually good. Like really, 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 almost there, I promise. Really, 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 really good. 1000% good. Because being different means we have so much more to offer each other. Things like help, ideas, strength, skills, creativity, life, patience, respect, community, love, knowledge, experience, perspective, insight, diversity, wisdom, empathy, and originality. That whole being different thing, it makes us better, much better. So, if you see someone being treated badly, made fun of, excluded from playing, or looked down on because of the color of their skin, call it racism. All right. Whew. Did that help, Marley? How do you feel now?
Marley says that it definitely helped, but she still doesn't know how to feel. And that's okay, Marley. You are not alone in that. This is a conversation that we need to have over and over and over again with many different people throughout our lives so that we can continue to keep learning.
Yeah, there's a lot happening and it can be confusing. Um, have you heard of the word vulnerable before, Marley?
Never. She never has heard of
Never
it.
heard of it? That's all right. We're still learning. Well, to be vulnerable means that we can feel hurt.
Marley doesn't like that. But it can be a good thing. If we see a friend crying, we can be vulnerable and cry with them.
And when you said you didn't know how to feel about the book and about racism, that's being vulnerable too. And I know I can't speak for Miss Page, but I know I feel really happy that you trust us enough to share that you didn't know. That's important.
I agree. It can be really hard sometimes to understand and to be vulnerable.
Mm. So how about today before we go to bed, before we wind things down, we practice a vulnerability meditation.
And Marley, you might not know exactly what a meditation is, but it's a few things that we can say to help us be more vulnerable.
You want to give it a try? All right. Let's start with a deep breath. All right. And repeat after me. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong.
And I'm scared.
And I'm scared.
Let's practice it one more time, okay? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
I think if we practice saying those things now, it'll make it easier to say them later when we need to share that with someone else. So, for today, I wanted to share a quote that I think we all need to hear at a time like this from Mr. Rogers. And it says, look for the helpers. So, at times like this, when we are scared, when we don't know, we can look for the people who are out there helping others. We can look for the people who are being vulnerable. Okay? Does that help at all, Marley? Okay. So before we go to bed, then, let's do our vulnerability meditation one more time. So repeat after me. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong.
And I'm scared.
And I'm scared.
All right. Now, one more deep breath all the way down to your tummy so we can let some of that tension go, okay? Ooh, she went for it.
All right, let's head over to the teacher's corner now. All right. So in the description of this video, there's going to be a link to purchase that book from Jelani Memory. We believe that social emotional learning cannot exist without teaching kids how to have conversations about race. Like the educator Dena Simmons says, why teach relationship skills if the lessons do not reflect on the interpersonal conflicts that result from racism? Why discuss self and social awareness without considering power and privilege, even if that means examining controversial topics like white supremacy? It's never too early to start teaching your kids to be anti-racist or yourself. Research has shown that by the time they start kindergarten, children begin to show many of the same implicit racial attitudes that adults in our culture hold. In the description to the video, we're going to provide helpful links to some ways that you can educate yourself, including petitions you can sign, Black-owned businesses, and activist organizations you can donate to, along with books to read and more.
And our second note in the teacher's corner is to choose to stay engaged. This has been a heavy couple of weeks for some people. Heavy because they came face to face with something that was very disturbing and uncomfortable. But for others, like myself, it's because a truth that we carried our whole lives has finally become so egregious that it can't be ignored. You may not want to talk about race, and I get that. I do. You might want to choose how and when you talk to your kids about race, and I get that too. But, I mean, I didn't have that choice growing up. And your kids' classmates and schoolmates and friends who have different backgrounds and from different ethnicities, they didn't have that choice either. Either they will be denied that choice or they already have. And we have to remember at a moment like this that as comforting as Mr. Rogers' quote is to look for the helpers, we have to remember the context. His mom told him that when he was a little boy, because that's what kids need to hear. They need to be reassured. They need to know the world is a safe place. They need that. But now is not a time for us to focus on the positive, us adults. It's a time to be vulnerable. It's a time to look at the suffering around us, have difficult discussions, and become those helpers, become those allies. And most importantly, not just now, not just today when it's on everyone's mind, when it's on your news feed, when it's everywhere. You have to choose to engage now and choose to continue engaging because for a lot of us, for a lot of your students, for a lot of your friends, for a lot of your children's friends, for your own children, this isn't a conversation that they, I, we can choose to put off or choose to shut out. All right. Whew. Definitely got to close with narwhal breath on this one.
All right, let's go ahead and close out with our breath. So everyone grab your tusk and take a deep breath in and out. Breathe in and out. And let's continue this conversation together.